Hello, everyone. My pleasure to be here today talking to you about mastering internal linking, a topic that every website owner and SEO should know about. So let's dive into it. Quick word about myself. My name is Gabby. I'm an SEO consultant and trainer based in Switzerland. And in a previous life, I've also founded one of the most successful e-commerce startups in Switzerland. Faye, check it out, and also do follow me on LinkedIn, please. I do not have a personal website. I just use LinkedIn and I post SEO bits every now and then. So do give me a follow. Let's dive into this. A little problem statement. Do any of the following sound familiar? Your content is optimized, quote unquote, but still not performing well. You may have high performing blog posts, but products don't perform as well. Or new products, new pages in general, really take a long time before they get the visibility that they really deserve and that you would like them to have. In all of these cases, internal linking may be the root cause. So let's look at this. How do internal links even work and why are they so important in SEO? Well, it's basically how Google bots and other search engines even discover new pages and see the web. So they crawl websites via links. They read out the anchor text, the link text, and this is how they learn topically, semantically what the page is about. And internal links also help distribute authority across your web pages. Now, this is important. This is the concept of PageRank. You can also call it link juice. That's kind of an older word to talk about it. You can call it authority. You can call it reputation. The basic concept just is that links distribute that authority. The more links a page receives, the more important it is deemed in the eyes of search engines. And the lower a page is hidden, so the more clicks it takes to get to that page in the site structure, the less important it is. Now, this is also how these links benefit SEO because, of course, you want search engines to even know about your pages. They should be reached frequently via links. And this is how search engines understand your site and how different pages are topically, semantically interlinked. So you can tell search engines by placing links strategically which of your pages are more important for a certain keyword. Also, if you place links correctly and in a helpful manner, that also improves user experience, which then in turn creates positive user signals, which can help in ranking. So it's a win-win situation for all. Now, visualization sometimes helps. So this is kind of where this concept of link juice comes in. The home page, that's the upper container here in yellow and red. That's usually the page that gets the most authority within your website. It also gets the most external backlinks from other websites. This is here in yellow. And as you can see, it distributes this authority via clicks, via links to other pages on that very website. And the lower in the site structure a page is, the less link juice it receives. Some rules for link juice. So only connect semantically related pages because you might think, oh, so I'm just going to link to my certain page that I want to strengthen from everywhere. No, that doesn't make sense. Please do contribute to the overall user experience and only place links where it makes sense contextually. But do make sure to include all of your pages. Don't create orphan pages. We're going to get to that in a second as well. And the more link juice a page gets, the more important it is. I've said it before. Do really think about your internal linking as a strategy that you can adapt and that you should take care of. So if you say, well, I do have a website now and I've already placed my internal links, of course, whenever I publish a new blog post, I'm placing internal links as well, but I don't really have full overview of how my pages are connected in terms of links. Then the next one is for you. How do we debug internal linking when we already have an existing website? So there are a few ways of doing this and a few ways or a few things you can look at in a link audit. We're looking at today at underperforming pages. First step would be going to Search Console. That's a free tool by Google, I'm sure. Most of you know it. It's a tool every SEO should use and also every webmaster. So here in the performance report, you can just check out the pages that don't receive as many organic clicks as you would like them to receive. But do also bear in mind that in Search Console, you have a row limit of 1,000. So if your page is bigger than that, you'd better think about another solution. One of these solutions is also Search Analytics for Sheets. If you like working in Google Sheets, you can just pull the Search Console data into a Google Sheet and it will circumvent this 1,000 row limit. And there you can just filter by clicks or sort by clicks, I must say. And you can see which pages don't really receive as many clicks as you would like them. Now you can also do a crawl, for example, in Screaming Frog. I really love Screaming Frog. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I would like to be. So if you finished your crawl, then you can just go to the links tab in Screaming Frog and filter by crawl depth or sort by crawl depth. The higher the crawl depth, the deeper hidden a page is within your structure. So if there you find pages that are really important to you with a high crawl depth, that's something you could work on. What are the solutions? Do make these pages more accessible by lifting them out of the depths. You can consider adding them to a main navigation or other link shortcuts, and in general to not create such low depths. Just keep your sitemaps under control and your site structure neat, and that's what will help you there. Now, second thing, that's kind of the other side of the coin here, poorly linked pages that will consequently probably also not perform very well. So in that Screaming Frog crawl, you can go to the unique inlinks column in the links tab, and there you can see how many unique links that page receives. And you can also sort by higher or lower number there. In Search Console, there's also a links report, and you can see how many of your pages or which pages receive how many internal links. It's also very helpful. Of course, also here, there's a data limit, so export that data. And what you can do, of course, you can improve the internal linking to that page. And how you're going to do that, we can look at that in a minute. The third thing you can look at in a link audit is orphan pages. Orphan pages are pretty much pages that can't be reached via internal links. So they do exist, but they're not linked within the site structure. Users can land on these orphan URLs by external sources, for example, by sitemap, also by newsletters, bookmarks, other external links. So search engines might still find those orphan URLs and you might not even be aware that you have them. You might think this is nearly impossible, but it's orphan URLs are actually, or orphan pages are more common than you might think. This might be pages that were never meant to go live, but are live. Pages that maybe belong to an older campaign and all the ingoing links were deleted, but the page itself was not. So there are many ways that orphan URLs can exist. And they're pretty hard to track because a crawler, like Googlebot as well, and also Screaming Frog, they find pages via links. So how are you going to find orphan pages that don't have links pointing to them? It's exactly finding them is only possible via links, so via external links that you might not be thinking of. So in this case, we're going to look at how you can find orphan pages that are in the sitemap, but not linked anywhere else. So in Screaming Frog, before you crawl the page, you have to go to crawl configuration and make sure that the sitemaps are discovered as well. And then after you crawl, you're going to the crawl analysis and tick those external sources that you have, in this case, sitemaps. And then when you perform a crawl analysis, you can after that go to the sitemaps tab and choose in the drop-down menu orphan URLs, and it will already be populated with those orphan URLs. So the important thing is to take those two steps to make sure the sitemaps are crawled and then to do the crawl analysis on the sitemaps and on the entire crawl. So this is really made easy for you by Screaming Frog. What do you do with these pages? You either decide you don't need them, you delete them, you forward-10 them, you redirect them, or you need the pages and then you actually need to give them more life, to make them accessible, to include them in the navigation, in the content, wherever, but not leave them as they are. There are many other things you could do in a link audit. You could look for non-descriptive anchor text, for nofollow links, for JavaScript links, which are problematic in themselves. There are other things. I can't include them all in this presentation. I do have a Screaming Frog tutorial on the Screaming Frog blog that goes into more depth and more detail and more different things you can do in a linking audit. So if you go onto my LinkedIn profile, there's the link also included to that tutorial, and you can read some more and step-by-step guides for all those internal linking audits. What I do want to show you as well today is how to find internal linking opportunities. So you know now that you have a page that isn't included in as many links as you would like. How do you find more opportunities to include that page? When you publish also a new product and you realize that's the reason why my new products are never seen, it's because they're not interlinked. So how do you find link opportunities? You can use the site operator. You can use internal search on your website. You can use threshold keywords in Search Console or custom extraction in Screaming Frog, and you can automate that process. So the internal search, it is great. So if I on fay.ch, if I want to interlink a blog post about basil, I look for basil on the internal search, and wherever basil as a word pops up in my website, I can link to that blog post. But you have to be sure you know the limits and caveats of your internal search. In that case, it only gave me one result, and that's simply not true. I know there are products related to basil. I know there are more blog posts. So your internal search might not be functional for that kind of thing that you want it to perform now. So a better option is to use the site operator, site dot or colon your website and then in quotation marks your keyword, and that will give you not every page but quite a few pages with that keyword on there, and that can be a great starting point to find those pages and to link then that keyword as an anchor text to your basil blog post. Kind of another way to look at it is also to go into Search Console and look at the queries that bring in users on your website, and you can find queries that aren't or don't generate as many clicks as you would like them to do, and then use that as a keyword in new links. And more, and you can also go onto the links report in Search Console. There you can also see how many times you used which anchor text. That's kind of additional information that you can get there as well. But to have a more complete picture than the site operator, you can use Screaming Frog custom search. So there within the custom search, before you do a crawl, you can add the keywords that you're looking for. You can add up to 100, which is overkill for many of our use cases. And within that custom search, you can specify, which I really love, that you're not only looking within the HTML for that certain keyword, basil, for example, but you're looking in the page text and in the page text that isn't already an anchor text, so that isn't already a link. So that really facilitates and makes it much easier for you to find linking opportunities. After you perform the crawl, you can go to the custom search tab, and there you see all the pages that do not at the moment contain that keyword that you were looking for. And what do you do? Of course, you set actually the link. Now, this can be very tedious, so we're also going to look at some automation strategies. Those are just some ideas. I know there are many, many tools out there. There might be tools that aren't in this presentation because with AI, so many interlinking tools are on the rise right now. I haven't found one that I really, really love and that I can recommend. So I'm just including some options here, especially for WordPress. There are many plugins. The Link Whisper Pro is a pretty famous one. It will make suggestions while you're writing a blog post about which pages you can link to. You can find orphan pages with Link Whisper Pro, and you can automate internal linking in that you set up key phrases, and every time that key phrase appears in a new blog post, for example, then it already contains the link to that blog post or product that you want it to. And in bulk, you can do that with that Search Analytics for Sheet extension. That is also free, by the way, in Google Sheets. So for every URL, you can construct a main keyword, a query. You can pull in the main query even with the Search Analytics for Sheet. If you group by page by query, you'll get the main query for each page, and then you can upload that into Link Whisper Pro. And for every one of these queries, it will make the link to that actual page. You could also, if you're not happy with that main query, you could also use GPT for Sheets or a Python script to really extract the main keyword of that certain page. Now for other CMS, as I said, there are many, many options. One that isn't an AI tool is also the internal linking opportunity generator. It's based on, you just need a report from a crawler that can be Screaming Frog. It can also be Sitebulb. And you need SEMrush. And there are other options where you need Search Console or another crawler. So I do recommend trying this out. I'm just going to show you how the internal linking opportunity generator would look like. It's not an automation, but it will give you these options. So you'll see on every URL a certain keyword that appears on that URL and what target URL is recommended for that. And then you still have to implement this. So these are some options to start with automation and with finding internal linking opportunities in bulk. And this is how I would like to conclude my presentation. So please do find me on LinkedIn, give me a follow, read my SEO posts that I do every now and then, find my internal linking tutorial on Screaming Frog, and also do hit me up if you have questions, if you would like to discuss anything, or if you need help with your internal linking setup. Thank you very much, Sean, for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you today, and see you soon.